and then they
They
put all the
come-
things
yeah,
together.
They're all together, yeah, under Volkswagen.
Right. I didn't know that. That was kind of neat. Somebody told me that the other day.
I gotta figure out.
Yeah, Fiat was bought up by, Fiat Chrysler
Oh,
was bought up by Stellantis, which is
Last week,
Peugeot,
Bill
Citroen.
was he couldn't
Well, my
get
first excavator I bought was the Fiat Alice. They bought, Fiat bought Alice Chalmers.
that up.
Yeah.
And that machine still runs to this day, no
I
problem.
wonder if you could get.
Leaks a little oil and
pew,
obviously,
Part of the pew and. Well, oh, because it's so much higher than.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Just have to figure it out and just hope it doesn't keep falling. Yeah, but I'd rather have that fall than this.
Yeah. I think this year will be the last year they'll sell Fiat, so.
Oh,
That's gonna,
is it tough to get parts?
no. But I'm used to buying saw parts and Fiat parts and,
Online.
Can I just
yeah.
move this way a little bit? No,
Surprised how much saw parts I get out of Britain and Lithuania.
No kidding.
You have me thinking away. I'm going through everything, trying to figure out who else I know. There's still.
That's okay. I'll email you tomorrow and then you'll have my email. You can respond back.
Okay. All right, that's good.
That'll work.
Or, I'll give you my cell. You text me.
Yeah, that too. We have 30 seconds.
okay. We'll get ready. Lisa is right on the money with time.
Time is money. Money is time.
If you say
Wants to get
so.
out by.
She wants to
Don't
go
want
watch
to
it
start
at 8.
See how many we got here. 4, 5, 6, 13. Okay.
Okay, welcome, everybody. I am going to call to order this meeting of the Town of Griswold Board of Selectmen, regular meeting on Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. Roll call, Tina Falk, first selectman, Martin McKinney, selectman, absent is Rich Grabowski, selectman Rich Grabowski, excused absence. And item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving on to item number 3, approval of minutes. We have regular meeting minutes from August 27th. And we also have special meeting minutes from September 3rd.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve, August 27th meeting, 2024 regular meeting and September 3rd, 2024 special meeting as written.
Okay, we have a motion and I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4, correspondence. We do not have any correspondence. So we'll move on to item number 5, old business. A, discussion and possible action on securing possible media platform.
We had the meeting, as everybody knows, I did call the gentleman, I'm waiting for a quote back. That seems to be the prevalent problem with everything when people getting back to you, so, as soon as I get the information, I can report back, but I haven't got the quote from our meeting with Lisa and, Eric, myself.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to table item 5A. I'm waiting on further information.
And table 5B also with the detector lighting, people have to decide what they want to do on that. I know there's some talk about grants or some other stuff,
Mhm.
so I'm really not sure. What-
Excuse me, Martin, can we get a motion on A, please?
I make a motion that we
Well,
table.
we got the motion. We just
Got the
need the
motion,
vote
we need you to second.
on A.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to table item 5A. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now you can continue with B.
And on 5B,
I make a motion, we table that, discussion until we figure out what's going on with grants.
okay, we have a motion to table item 5B. I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item 5C, discussion and possible action on St. Mary's, St. Anne's, Glasgow Church and Playground. We did have a meeting and I'm talking with the Youth Center Director, Parks and Rec. And Rich Grabowski is unavailable right now, but we are going to set a time to go up. We're going to Father Ted is going to let us into the Glasgow Church to take a look around and we're going to take a look at the property. So when Rich comes back, I'll be setting that meeting up and we're gonna go on a field trip. Martin.
And for the record, the priest was missing for the last 2 weeks too, so that's why, right?
Yeah, Father Ted was away for a month, so he's back now. And as soon as everybody's back in place, we're gonna go ahead and set up the meeting to have a field trip up to
Right.
that site.
Absolutely.
So. All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that we table item 5C until after the meeting up at St. Mary's, St. Anne's, Glasgow Church.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6, new business. Discussion and possible action on 10 tax refunds for a total of $13,948.77 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
Well, I make a motion that, Leona Starkey refunds, tax refund at a total of $13,948.77 as outlined in our, forms.
Okay, we have a motion to approve these tax refunds. I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And item 6B, discussion and possible action on letter from Judith Buchert concerning the condition of Woodcrest Drive. It's your turn.
Your turn.
Well, thank you for having this.
Thank you for coming.
I felt it was about time to write a letter. You know, I mean, there are things that have gone wrong with the road, like I listed in the letter. It hasn't been, you know, no asphalt was put on it for, I'm gonna say 40 years.
Okay.
A lot of things attributing to this too is that Western Transport truck has gone by and caused a lot of problems.
Mhm.
A lot of problems with Janice. Would you like to say, could I say that she could state her?
Yes, of course.
What happened?
If you could state your name and your address for Lisa.
My name is Janice Ward. And about the trailer truck?
Yes.
Yes, this is too small of an area, because when he comes down, you have to be careful because of the children that are there. Well, I used to have 3 poles on my corner. Each pole has been taken down.
What kind of poles were they?
The short poles.
Yeah, the guidelines, you know.
Okay.
to protect the
Guardrails,
corner.
guardrails, okay.
Guardrails?
Yes, now I have no poles, and he took the last one.
So is this the long tractor trailer trucks?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, we got a
Well, he
70-foot
lives-
trailer.
And the wires.
he ended up taking the wires off my house. Because when he turns the corner of his truck catches my wires. I had to call Eversource and, Frontier. Frontier, I had a hard time with, and he had to take him down like 3 times before they finally came to put him up.
So how long ago was this?
This was just the spring.
Okay,
Now, he's still going there, but he's very careful. My daughter was there and watched him. He's careful because the grass has grown where he damaged my lawn. So he's
He's coming
very
up Gill
careful
Drive.
not to go on there.
Maybe you can speak, get back to each
All
one.
right, wait, for the recording, please, if we could have only one person speak at a time and mention your name and
no,
address.
no, and you'll all have a chance to speak, I promise you. But let me ask you this, does this gentleman live in the neighborhood?
Yes,
And so he comes through and parks?
yes.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
He
Now it's
parks
starting to
on
make sense.
Gill Drive because that's where he lives.
okay,
So for him to leave, he has to go around.
okay, okay.
May I finish?
Yep, and then this gentleman and then that
Yeah.
gentleman. Go ahead, Judy.
And then the other thing is, well, goes along with this truck as well. The culvert in front of my home
Mhm.
is sinking in,
Okay,
and it's been since Todd and since Dana, and now I'm approaching you on it
okay,
to come and to look and to see what has happened. People go over it and, you know, there's a big loop there. There's a drainage problem and,
okay,
other people have problems like Mr. Meadows. And the water that forms in front of his home, and it is terrible in the winter because it goes right into the road, you
okay.
know, and the depth of it too.
So what I'd like to do is let's get the Western Express discussion finished. And then we're gonna go into the road issues, okay? And we do have our Director of Public Works here, so we can have a good conversation. All right, so anything else on Western Express? Yes,
Matthew Palmer, 20 Woodcrest Drive. I've witnessed it firsthand with what's happened to Janice. I've helped her put the wires back in her house multiple times and things like that. Peel Drive to Woodcrest, not just Western Express, but just any trucker who happens to know. The way our road is formed is like this perfect turnaround for any tractor trailer that happens to know that the way our road is set up. So it's not just the wires on our house, it's also the stop sign at the end of Gill Drive has been, I think this past year, 2 or 3 times that I recall, has been completely wiped out by the tractor trailer, because the way they make their turns, wiped out that stop sign on Gill, and then they deep ruts in her yards, they destroyed her yard. She used to have the wooden post bollards that she mentioned, those have gotten ripped up. And then her wires were legal height, it's just, sometimes a truck to make the swing, he gets closer to her house, cuts through her grass, and then, but it's not, I don't wanna say just Western, I feel like it's any tractor trailer happens to know about it. I'm hoping a resolution would be something as simple about saying no through trucks and imposing a fine to trucks that are using our residential neighborhood.
I will tell you, and I believe, Lisa, the previous administration, there were 2 roads that we proposed, no through trucks. And DOT didn't, they did evaluate, and I think they felt, and their comment was that it didn't warrant having these signs installed. However, I'm willing to challenge that. Okay, we're having a lot of trouble with Western Express. Now, this gentleman who comes and he parks and he lives in the neighborhood, does anybody have a name of who the truck driver is? Or an address?
I think by the end of the meeting, I could get an address.
If you can do that, that would be great, because then it would give me something to connect it to. The borough warden, Lori Sorter, and she's not here right now, and I have contacted the local Western Express and also on the national level. And they're really not willing to do much. So we're gonna have to see if we can take it a step further, all right? So I will work on that. Okay.
Now, what, the guardrails are missing from our front yard, though, or maybe we can replace those?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see what Todd knows about that. All right, yes,
Yes, the other 2 roads that you were talking about just now,
yeah,
are they residential areas?
yes. Yes. Because what was happening is Western was using the other road to turn up, to cut over to Route 201. And it was constant, and it's the same type of thing, you know, children playing, residents walking, the same type of situation.
And
And-
road caving in, is there anything? like a road
I didn't
caving
know
in?
anything about a road caving in, no.
I mean, that
They
is
won't
where
stay
I
there.
live, you know, on Woodcrest Drive.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Bill Cockerham, 16 Windcrest Drive. You mentioned the other two roads and the fact that the trucks use them to cut across
Mhm.
access from one road to another.
yes,
It's a little different from a street that goes around in a loop.
it is,
Not-
but there were two requests, and one was Woodcrest to put the sign up, and the other was from another resident and from the borough warden.
So Woodcrest's already been discussed with the state.
Yes. But I didn't write the letter. I'm gonna have to go back and pull the request letter and see exactly what was stated and see how we can approach it differently.
Is there any sort of ordinance here for the town that restricts people from parking commercial trucks of that size in a residential area?
Not that I'm aware of. But that gentleman should be told by Western Express that he cannot park their vehicle the way that he is in front of his property. So I'll do some investigating.
Shouldn't do it. Two different things. yeah.
No. So,
No, I mean, as far as Western Express.
yeah, they're very difficult to deal with, I will tell you.
Well, they got more than enough yard, half a mile up the road to park trucks.
I agree. You had your hand up.
13 Gill Drive.
Thank you. And how often does this happen? Is it daily?
Pretty much. I mean,
Really?
I
Yeah,
have to say, for a while it was daily, and it's gone down to a couple, 3 times a week now.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I'm not sure.
different times of the day,
That's true.
at 4 o'clock,
That's true.
early in the morning.
I'm
late-
used to seeing him early in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will get an answer for you. All right, one way or the other. Okay. Now, the issue of roads. Todd will be calling on you. Okay, so go ahead and tell us, you said that you had, it has,
And the other thing was that, the road has not been, you know, resurfaced in years.
can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And, I know other roads around, Spring Street has been done over the years, not recently. And I know that this isn't gonna be done because of that culvert and the water problem.
Okay,
So I guess we have an engineering problem, so what can we do about that?
Todd, what can we do about that? The culvert and the water issue and,
Well, culvert in the past, the past road foreman had gone out and looked at it. And said there was minor settlement, but there was nothing that was failing.
Well, the
I did-
settlement now is about 9 inches,
Yeah,
and it runs all the way across the road.
yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
I'll send
at some point, it's just gonna collapse.
Send everybody here, I'll send them out to look at it.
All
As
right.
far as the paving, you know, the town follows a road study, which we have updated every 5 years. And that's what we follow. Those roads right now, I don't see in the road study next year. The way that works is we get a budget from the Board of Finance for roads. We utilize a company that surveys the roads, so I reach out to them with the amount of money we have for road repairs. Here. They take that amount of money and they divide it up into percentages of preventative maintenance, routine maintenance, mill and overlay, and reconstruction. And the way the formula is set up, the percentages, it's set up so that you try to keep your good roads good, but you still try to improve roads that are in real disrepair or in between good and disrepair. So like a mill and pave would be in between maintenance and total reconstruction. So that was a requirement, from the Board of Finance probably 20 years ago, because, before I was here, they felt we were just spending money foolishly in different places and it wasn't effective. So Their mandate was that we contract with a company to do a road study, and we've done it ever since. We say we get the numbers from the budget, we give it to them, and then they tell us what type of work we're doing to what roads, for the year. So I don't see anything there for next year. Or this year with this year's money, which would be 24, 25. You know, we usually project out, assuming that they're gonna give us the same amount each year. And we'll project out another year beyond to see where we're gonna be going for planning purposes. We haven't done that yet at this point. We're still working on this year's plan.
Go ahead.
I just have Glen Meadows, Braidwood Crest Drive. I just have a question to follow up to that. We've all witnessed all the roads in Jewett City, or not all, but a lot of them just got paved. Does Jewett City come under a different budget? Or is it one big budget?
Well, there was a reason behind that. And Todd, I'll let you address the roads that were paved in Jewett City. There was a reason why.
So the budget for the town covers the borough and the town roads. The actual road study is split into two. We do a separate road study for the borough, and a separate one for the town for the ratings that we get. So it gives you a score. And when I started here, we were at a 52 for a score, and right now we're at a 69. So we're making progress. The roads in the borough that were done, those were roads where Eversource ran gas lines, and they were required to restore the pavement.
Okay,
So instead of restoring the trench that they opened up, if they cut up one side of the road, they're required to repave from the center line to the gutter line on that side of the road. The Board of Finance last year gave us an extra $250,000. So we took that money and we put it with the Eversource money, and we redid all those roads completely. Instead of doing half a road, because what happens is you get half a road that looks good and half that doesn't look good. The profile may not be right, but they're required only to do what they open up, which is usually half the road. So we took that extra money that the Board of Finance gave us. We got 580,000 from Eversource. And we put that together and we did those 13 roads in the borough.
can we get Eversource to run some lines?
That's right.
Have a question of time. So that third party company that does the study, do they have the ultimate say in what roads get done, or do they just make the list? Do you have to follow the list, or do you have the final say?
There's certain things that I will do.
Yep.
One of them is not vary from the list, because in the past, part of the problem with the funding was a lot of it was very political. This takes the politics out of the process. The only thing I will do, and I'll give you an example, like Pulaski Street over here off Slater Avenue, the water company's doing water line replacement, so I deferred that out a year so that they do their water lines and they're gonna pay the road. So I'll do things like that, but as far as changing things around that they schedule, we typically don't do that unless we have a project coming up that's gonna jeopardize what we paid.
The only reason I also kind of ask this, I think we're here because we feel like we're not on the list, considering the road hasn't been touched in 40 years. So that's cool. We just wanted to make sure we're even on the list at this point, I think. You know,
I mean, all the roads are in the program, and there's many roads.
Yeah.
I've been here 31 years, and there's many roads we haven't touched.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just your road, and
the sinkhole that she's mentioning.
Yep.
The only thing I even wanted to address about that is, the big concern about that is, now that everybody's like aware of it, who lives on that road, it causes people to drive around it, so we have people going in the oncoming lane, swerving towards his house. Because I do it too, because I don't wanna
Right.
destroy my shocks, so we're all swerving, avoiding it.
Well, we're gonna get somebody out there this week,
probably one.
and that will be addressed.
Yeah,
What's that? We have to.
that would have been my next question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
And just to continue, I understand, okay, maybe we can't do the whole road, but is it possible to do some patchwork? So I have two areas right at the end of my carport that are soon, appears to me, to end up being sinkholes. There's no asphalt at all. And we're down to, you know, whatever's under the asphalt. That's what happened, it collects water, in the wintertime it freezes, and every winter it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Now the one area is two areas.
Yeah.
And it's a temporary fix. A patch maybe would, just to prevent continual
What number are you?
3 Woodcrest Drive,
3?
3. Can't miss it. Someone with the two big.
Sinkholes.
Okay,
And when it rains, it's.
Right.
okay,
We have pictures, but they're on our camera, unfortunately.
okay.
You can look at that too, Tom, right?
Yeah, I sent one out. I know which one they are. I definitely do the carport years ago.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Colleen Walker, 9 Woodcrest Drive. I wanted to say something about that sinkhole too. A lot of people go over it that don't live on the road and they're hitting their front ends. Somebody's gonna knock their front end right out of line and knock something off the front end, even the front bumper even. And I'm afraid that, it's gonna really sink all the way down. Me too.
anything else? Okay, state,
One last note on that, and I hate to beleaguer the culvert collapse, but that 18-wheeler has to drive over that as well.
Hmm.
And obviously.
that doesn't help, I'm sure.
Well, it may not be,
It doesn't.
maybe the fact that it's not even rated for that, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That culvert was originally rated for the weight of an 18-wheeler load.
That's no idea.
Usually they're rated for
Usually.
full loading.
I understand that, but what was the code when it was put in 40 years ago?
Yep.
At least 40.
Also, I wanted to say, when we have heavy rains, because I'm on this side and I see the incline, it's like a river. It's like a river
Okay.
that goes down there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I guess we have some homework to do. All right, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
And-
having us.
I guess,
Monday.
Judy, are you gonna be the contact person or? So that if we have information to relay,
Certainly.
is that okay with everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I thank everybody for coming in. All right,
Like I said, thank you for having us.
absolutely, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Okay, so we'll move on to number 7, any other business that may properly come before the board, and I would like to make a motion to add on East Coast Auto Car Show.
Second out.
Okay, so we have motion and a second to add on East Coast Auto Car Show. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So I was asked by, I guess, Todd, you were contacted today by East Coast. You worked on this last year, so.
Reached out last week, we'd like to have the car show again, the 28th of this month. They did provide certificate of insurance, with the town additionally named as insured. I ran that through Eric, he's okay with that. They did also reach out to both property owners on Business Parkway and gave them a certificate of insurance along with getting a letter that they are fine with this happening and, closing the day. So everything is in order, the same as last year. They did request from me the road closure permit to be, so they've met all the requirements we put in place last year, so I think, as far as I'm concerned,
Were there any problems last year that you're aware of?
I didn't hear any drastic complaints. I think we did have a couple of people that left a little fast.
but. You know, it's hard to. Go in with it.
We did that.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion, that, we approve what do you want to approve the application for the closing of the road? Is that how it's short?
You can, I'm just doing it as a courtesy.
Okay, fine.
About it, if you wanna make an approval, that's fine.
No, it doesn't matter to me. It's just the approval.
I think we should approve it.
Okay.
I mean, if.
I make a motion that we approve the closing of, what's the name?
Business Parkway.
Business Parkway, as outlined by Todd on the 28th, with the proof for insurance and everything in file.
Okay, we have a motion and I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and we'll move on to number 8, public forum. Yes, sir.
Debut 59, in regard to the East Coast Auto Show. Last year, in conjunction with their letter of agreement with the town, they were not allowed to exit onto Norman Road. They were to do all their entry and exit onto 138. Maybe that can still go live.
It would still be in place because that was a requirement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public forum? Yes, Ransom.
Ransom Young, 209 Richtown Road. Reluctantly, I bring up the subject every year. Will the cemeteries be mowed this fall?
Public Works, will the cemeteries be mowed this fall? Yes, they will.
Okay, I would have done a portion of it last year, except when I got my own tractor going and was mowing my own. And I came down at the end of the day and I had 2 of my new, like new, used, like new tires flat on my pickup truck. So some showed up and like my 2 front tires.
Oh.
Very unhappy about that.
Of
So
course.
that put an end to my mowing last year.
Okay.
And that's because I was up around the hill. Some guy shows up on an ATV. And I'm up over the hill and mounting my mower. And he wants to know, blah, 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 you own this, blah, blah, blah. Mentioned Voluntown for some reason, I think it's a diversion. And then he starts to drive off, and I guess he was on his cell phone. I hear a voice at the bottom of the hill, and I didn't think an awful lot of it. I've had a lot of problems out there over the years.
Okay.
And when I was done, so I will not be doing anything in the cemetery unless I do a push forward, put it on my truck.
Okay, well, let's leave it up to Public Works. Okay. All right. Any other public forum? Yes, Wayne.
Email people Trail. So, I sent you an email a week or 2 ago about Halloween.
Yes.
Night at Kenwood.
And it's sitting right on the top of the pile. I think we should have a conversation about that, other than public forum.
Yep.
Because I'm not quite sure what can be done about that, and I'm not quite sure what you're asking us to do.
Well, I asked my daughter to contact the HOA in Kenwood to try and have them talk to you.
Mhm.
Come to some agreement. So I don't know if you've heard anything from them.
I have not, but I'm happy to talk to them.
So it's getting to be an issue. I think, I don't know, it was last year before there was an accident outside of Kenwood because they're parking along. So that's Bethel.
Yeah,
That's getting really tight. There were state troopers in the last couple of years.
yeah, I know it's very, very busy. I don't know how much of that you're allowed to control, or if there's a way to do things differently, but, I have a couple of thoughts, so yeah, just have somebody contact me from the HOA.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Any other public forum? Hearing nothing.
Emotional.
We have a motion to adjourn at 6:32. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Good to see you, Jean.
What?
It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. All right.
Well, you knew what he's supposed